Hello, beautifuls. Big hugs. Today I am offering a divine reminder. I am on this land that I've been living on for a couple of years now, and so much has been changing. So much that for any human being would feel like it's too fast, too much, too soon. And I'm always curious if that's how it feels to the land, to the earth, to the nature spirits, to the animals. And yet, however, the way that we as humans release energy, the way that we heal, is meant to be very natural. And when I say natural, it means that we are honoring the innate way in which energy moves through our vessels, through our bodies. So I feel like this is something because of the societal constrictions and conditions to living and the comforts that we have lost sight of that innate ability to release energy. We have lost understanding of our own energy, mastery of our own energy in that sense, because we have been consciously or unconsciously giving it away, giving it to substances, giving it to situations, to responsibilities, to drugs. And when I say drugs, I'm talking about pharmaceuticals. When we give it away to a being, saying that you are the reason I am this way, you are the reason my life is this way, we're giving our power away, becoming a victim, and bringing ourselves down from that level of realizing that we are too a part of Mother Earth, a part of this life, a part of the life force energy that flows through every being, the water, the fire, the air, the wind, the earth within us. This is taking us a step down from realizing that we are a fractal of God, of source, of oneness, of great spirit, that we are, our soul is that. So the more that we start to see that we're giving away our power in these ways, we are, yes, victimizing ourselves in a sense, and also saying that we are not sovereign, that we are not source, that we are not masters of our own energy, that we do not understand our bodies. And I feel as though this reminder coming through, and why I'm mentioning all of this, is to remember that healing happens naturally. It's a byproduct of the work that we do. It's a byproduct of our life. However, we get to choose how we navigate it. We get to choose if we're going to just put some duct tape over it, pop a few things here and there, kind of put it under the rug, leave it under the bed, hide it, put a sheet over it, to just mask it, to band-aid it. Or if we're going to allow the natural healing process to bring us into deeper alignment, into growth, into a conscious journey into our own darkness, into these places that I feel like the human psyche is afraid of, into these places of the deep darkness, the underworld, the place where we go to retrieve ourselves once again and to rise up, ascend into power. In order to ascend, we must root. We must descend at some point. There needs to be a balance, a deepness here in order to allow us that process of really rising into our power. It is how you navigate. And this was a big message that came through for the month of January. And if this resonates with you, let this stick with you so that you can continue consciously taking back that, not control, but power. That truth inside of you, this knowingness, this inner authority, this part of who you are. And we learn so much of the healing process from nature, from Mother Earth, from the elements, from the plants that are around us, the lands in which they are moving. And it may seem like, okay, I can notice them, I can reflect on things and things like that, but you can also really listen. You can listen and feel the actual frequencies and vibrations of this change, of this transformation, this transition occurring. To see how life always finds a way. It's a natural thing. The healing, the life force energy, it flows. It flows. So it's time for us to remember that and to honor the movement in that flow. To allow the movement in that flow. So if you are feeling hesitance toward stepping into the darker places within you, stepping into the uncomfortable sensations and emotions and thoughts and things that are coming up, literally asking for your attention, if you are feeling hesitant to go to those places, I invite you to sit with the earth. I invite you to remember that breath of life that's naturally flowing through you at this time. No matter how deep or shallow it may feel, it is here, and it does not need to be so complicated. And some of us think like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to go to these places on my own. I don't know. When we go to these places, like I said, we are reclaiming an aspect of our being. We're seeing this part of us, this discomfort, this emotion, this thought, and choosing to see it from love and not fear. Choosing to say yes, as if this were your child, as if you really loved yourself enough to say, oh, I'm speaking to myself, I'm screaming out right now. Maybe I'm frozen right now. We can feel these things, we can feel them. When we feel like just like throwing up, when we just think about, oh my gosh, going into these places, and we just immediately become sick because something is trying to come out of us. The body knows. The body knows, your intuition knows. It's speaking to you. It's speaking to you. What happens when we feel sick and when we get nauseated, right? We usually feel better after we throw up. We usually feel better. And there was a rewrite I want to share with you as well. Instead of seeing it as throwing up, seeing it as getting well. And this was something that in ceremony I heard from a friend of mine, Sebastian, and he was saying, we're getting well. We're releasing that, letting it go. And a lot of the time, in order to remember who we are, to step into our power, it is very much a process of not just surrender, but release. Letting go of what actually isn't you. All of those projections, all of the manipulation, all of these conditions and filters to our identity. And that's where we get to understand, oh, that is the purity of my heart, of my soul, of who I am. And we get to hold that dear. And in these times of darkness, I will tell you that affirmation, mantra, and prayer have been so powerful, along with being with the earth, but actually affirming yourself back into existence, back into presence, back into the here and now, setting and claiming your space, your frequency. By simply stating it aloud. Making it real, making it true, using the power of your word. The power of your word, your spells, the magic that is this life force flowing through our bodies. And I want you to know that in order to start moving past that feeling of feeling afraid to go into these places, these parts of you. Something that was really beautiful that I heard at a women's circle recently was that when we consciously bring ourselves into these places of darkness, into the underworld, into our shadow, we are allowing ourselves a beautiful opportunity. We're offering those deeper moments an opportunity to recognize how it is that we're going to move through it. We're giving ourselves the tools by going consciously into these places so that when we are kind of pulled into those in our transitions in our life, that we know how to navigate it, that we're not like blown by it, we're not hit by it. It's not sweeping us over and humbling us. But instead, we know, because we are conscious and we've been there, we know how to hold ourselves, how to honor the emotions that are arising, how to let life flow through us, to allow the natural healing process to occur. And this healing process occurs on all of the bodies. On the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body. It occurs on all of those. So when you are feeling something uncomfortable in your physical body, listen and take action. Offer love. When you are feeling something emotionally, can you create space to experience that and call upon support if you need to? And when you're feeling it mentally, the thoughts coming in, use your breath. Bring yourself back to your senses. Remember, speak to yourself. Go in front of a mirror if you need to and speak to yourself. When you're feeling it energetically, perhaps, you're feeling so much from other people, because when we go to these places, we feel very vulnerable. We feel raw, right? So sometimes we can feel extra. And so this is where, once again, we get to affirm. We get to call on support. We get to set that frequency and trust in our own power, in our own authority. We get to know how to allow what is flowing through us to flow through, and to consciously choose what it is that we will allow into our space and how it is that we will navigate anything. And for me personally, I choose to navigate it with love, with truth. So important, with honesty, that I am not bypassing or, just saying this is one thing, or, just accepting everything for face value. Like, oftentimes we are called to go a bit deeper to see what is underneath the facades, what is really happening beneath the sensations and what it is that we're feeling. And so with that process, it requires us to be present. So the medicine that we can offer ourselves right now is presence, is to really try and be as present as we can. Or at least if you were feeling like you are everywhere else, or it's difficult to be in your body right now, honor that, love that. That is where you are. That is who you are in this moment right now. That does not mean it's going to be forever. But you get to honor and love, and let that love shape you into the alignment of your truest being, your purest, highest self. So this is my reminder to you, because and if you were feeling that fear, if you were feeling that that anxiety, that twisty turny, that means there is something that is still ready for you to just release it. One more thing before I let you go is that you can write out how others can support you. You can write out what is supportive to you, whether it's specific practices, things, people you can talk to, who to contact if you are in this place or that place. Perhaps there's certain things that you really desire for yourself so that you can go to these places. That is okay to be like, hey, I need a massage. I could use, a energy work session right now. I could use listening to these frequencies at this point. I could use this type of space. I could use a view. I could use sitting next to a tree. I could use being surrounded by people that are here to hold space for me. Whatever it is, you get to create that space for yourself. See what it is that you need. Offer yourself that the best that you can. Sometimes we're like, all right, maybe we can't necessarily go to the ocean right now, right? How can you bring that experience into yourself? What can you offer yourself? Can you take a bath? Can you work with water in a different way? Can you go deep into meditation? Maybe meditation is not the thing because you've been feeling really shut down and frozen. Then okay, start moving. Call on these people that can help you make things happen. Bring it in. Bring yourself in. Offer that to yourself. You deserve it. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. This is the level of love that we get to have for ourselves. This is the level of love that exists here and now in the community of living on Earth. And we get to tap into it. I send you so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are looking for spaces of support with this in whatever process that you're moving through, if this resonates with you at all, check out my offerings below. I am holding a 7-week course very soon called Becoming One. And I would love to chat with you, hold space for you, and see if this is a space that aligns with you. We're going to be working with the elements, with plants, in this 4-part journey to really assist us in meeting our shadow, knowing how to hold space for ourselves, learning so many different processes that you can utilize for yourself on your own, that you can take with you throughout your life, so that you have that great toolbox. You know, we're going to do this together in community. We're going to do it together. You are not alone. And you do not need to go into these places alone. Okay. Love you. Hope to see you soon. Thank you for being here. Please do like the video if it served you. Subscribe as well. And I will see you in another video.